off the jump.
5, 4, 3, 2, we are live.
Word
Coming
up.
to you live from the capital of the inside of our minds. Yes, indeed.
Word, man. What's good, man?
Yo,
What's the word?
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Man?
For real. I'm a kick to start the blink off with a piece of flowing gratitude for the fact that like I'm on here with the two of y'all, and the fact that it's possible, and the fact that technology makes this possible. And I'm gonna give a shout out to all the unfairly disadvantaged, messed up mining folk who I don't know anything about that help put together the components that end up in the computers and the gadgets that we're currently doing this on. And hopefully we touch enough people with the positivity that we leave in our wake to make up for some of the bullshit that we don't know anything about and turn some of our blind eyes to. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to fucking start with deep, yo, because like I'm realizing this thing meaning AI and art and blah 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 is changing.
Yeah.
So it's changing so much. One of the things that it changed for me is changing for me.
Let me just say this, like for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about. So today, what is it called? Today, Photoshop. Anybody who watches this, if they do, if it's Mom's Duke or my son or something watches it. So Adobe has implemented AI into their process, and now you basically can use AI while creating within the software.
AI.
Generative, right? The example I saw was a girl was like, cut her picture out, masked herself, and put like a different background behind her. She just changed it and put grass and then put something else ill behind her. And then my homie, super fast. My homeboy Rasul just hit me, man. He hit me and was like, yo, what you think of this? And I was like, I can only imagine. I told him everybody's kind of 50-50, right? Because, like we talked about earlier, either you gonna think about it like it's a fast tool to use, or you're gonna think about it like it's a cheat code for people to just steal.
100% cheat code. And it's hard. It's kind of like it's the multiples, because it's just tripping. There's layers to this, right? Like, so I'm gonna take it back a week.
I'm gonna just say this before you say anything. I'm gonna let you rock. I'm on the side of it just makes shit faster. You know what I mean? Like now I don't have to, like I told you in the chat. Now I don't have to Google, pictures of grass for 30 minutes if I just want to make a grass background. You know what I'm saying? I could let AI do it. But go ahead. I'll let you go from there. You know what I'm
saying? So on the real quick, like first, Sky, what up? How you doing, fam? It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here.
Good, you know what I'm saying? Good, man.
This is the most we've seen each other in like literally decades. Like, it's just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
This is bananas. Going back a week. So Sky was playing around with a concept, right? And one of the concepts that he was playing with was black people in spacesuits all over the place, just all over the place. And then we had the little meeting, and we were showing off different things that we had created on the thing or pulled out of the thing, or I still don't know how to refer to it. Out of Midjourney is the current platform that we was fucking around with, and then Concep had been playing with some concepts and doing some beautiful concept shit. And then in our personal thread, he was like, yo, that joint. And then on his Insta, he was like, yo, that kind of inspired me. Boom. And then he did a bunch of space joints. And I don't know if he had already been messing with space joints before or not. I have no idea, right? But for me, and then Sky was like, oh my God, this is dope. Right? And so the two of them were like going back and forth. And I was like in the background going, oh my God, I don't know how to feel about this. Like, this is so weird to me. Just because of the sharing aspect, just because of here's this thing that I'm working on, and somebody else can be like, oh, I'm working on it, I'm gonna fuck around with that shit too, and then it's so fast. And what it's brought to the fore for me is that like we're living in a culture that is being turned on its head as we speak, right? Like every day, more and more technology is moving the needle in various ways. Democratization of art is a very powerful thing. There's a whole bunch of people who haven't had access for one reason or another to some of the higher end tools. Everybody's got access to art. Like, let me be real clear. You got people who are making art out of trash, garbage, mud, like all over the freaking world. It's always been that way. It always will be, as far as I'm concerned. But that being said, there's some tools, there's specific kinds of tools that different people have had access to, and a lot of people haven't. And those of us who have access to those tools and an actual artistic bent, we've been able to do some beautiful things, and we can charge people for doing those beautiful things. Now there's this software that comes along that's bottled all those things or a whole bunch of those things and makes it so that most people, like with very, very little practice, can pull out some really pretty stuff. They might not be able to pull out exactly what they want, but it's so gorgeous they're like, I don't care, right? And so they just have these gorgeous pieces of art. And so it's democratized that in that way. And then in the back end, anybody can take any, unless you have like the private streamer or the private, like you got the plus joint that you're paying for, so you have your own server. Anybody can take anybody else's stream of prompts, and they can take your actual image and they can mess with it. They can play with it. And it's like, it's to the point where it's not even taking, because that's the point of it's like TikTok with the remix and videos. Like that's what we're creating, right? Like, so it's taking and taking copying and taking biting and taking plagiarism.
You should be on a private server. Just a heads up, like you should be on a private server. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like you're bad on that.
But that's the next level. But here's what I'm saying. That's the next level.
I hear what you're saying, because that's what it's a sharing platform on Discord. That's what you're saying. I get it. I understand what you mean.
And that private server is the latest version of the exclusivity, right? Like that's where you're like, all right, so I have access to this, because some people can't afford the private servers, so they're on
I see what you're saying. Yeah, so I jumped on a private server like this third week or something, but I see what you're saying.
You were like, I don't want nobody yanking my, you know what I mean? Like that's how it works.
I immediately was on the private server as well.
Exactly, right? I'm not, but I don't have to worry about it because I ain't playing with it. Whatever, it's all good. Like I'm stepping back. But the point is, like, it's just tweaking my brain in terms of what they've taken. Like TikTok has almost like paved the way for it. Instagram copying TikTok paved the way for it. Like, oh, you did this thing? Well, let me take the thing you did and add to it. Let me take the thing you did and tweak it. Now the challenge becomes, an appropriation comes in, right? When they go, oh, you did this thing? Let me take the thing you did, add a little something, and then I'm gonna go get paid for that thing. And you don't get paid. That's where shit gets weird. Yeah, I mean, that's where it gets like, oh, hold up, wait, what? And that's where the morals come in, and that's where my comes in, because it's like, if using Midjourney, I can give it a prompt for this, and this, and the image that comes out, I know it used bits and pieces of a bunch of people's images, and part of the piece that comes in is like a blurred out Tony Concep logo. See what I'm saying? Like, so I know that they ganked some shit from yo shit. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I know that logo. Then they tried to blur it out, but I know that logo, right? I've had stuff come up with different people's logos on the generative art that I created or pulled out or whatever of the thing. So it's just, for me, it's a trippy thing. It's a gorgeous thing to play with, blah, blah. But then when I hear my boys being like, yo, I'm gonna use it for album art, I'm gonna use it for this and this, my internal just went, oh no, they took it too far. I can't, I gotta run away. I don't know. So that's where I'm at. I'm like in this whirly, weird moral morass of a place, trying to just figure out the place. Just figure out my place.
I think when I think about what you're saying, like I think about like you're a purist, right? In the purest form. So we can attribute this to something like, okay, you got DJs that, carried around, the DJ Jazzy Jeff is talking about how he used to have people that he would hire just to carry the crates, his records. He would bring, 6 to 12 crates of records to party to walk up different stairs and all kinds of shit, right? And now he's like, all of my music's on this drive right here. You know what I'm saying? I'll use Serato, plug it in. But so then there's like the whole argument of beat makers, right? These classic producers that use the drum machines and different things. But then you got all these kids using Fruity Loops in their crib. They have more access to the program. And then in turn, there's some people that will say, our beats have gone down, you know what I'm saying? Or the music quality has gone down. Everyone does the same trap music, right? But then there's people like me who I'm always looking for the next music. I'm trying to hear Anita Baker on a trap beat that some kid made with Fruity Loops in his crib. You know what I mean? I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I think I'm in wholehearted agreement with you in a lot of ways. Where I'm on the fence and in the middle at is half of me was tired. You know, like it's like half of me was like,
it's a lot of work.
Like it's 1998 and you feel like you've seen every Freddy Krueger movie and they keep making more Freddy Krueger movies or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for that mold to be broken and let's just fucking forget Freddy Krueger now and let's make some whole other. And that's kind of where I'm at with the AI. The first week with the AI, I just was thinking, damn, everything is going to get better now because you're forced to get better because now the people who couldn't do work as good as you can do work that good now. So therefore, if you're really him, you're forced to go even further with your personal work in a way that nobody can touch. I guess it's like, does that make any sense? It's like I think I'm always like maybe that's a glass half full type of, or I'm always like a little future type of
I
thing.
hear the direction. I hear, and you've said it multiple times, like, you know, when you're talking about me or people like me, when you're just like, it amazes you that I care about folk taking my ideas because I can come up with new ones anytime I want. And for me, that's just like, so what? I came up with them first joints. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like that was
I see.
shit, you know, like it's like that's years of work. That's like that's a lot of fucking work, you know. And for me, it's like I think that yes, it'll push those of us who choose to be pushed. But it simultaneously puts a lot of folk in either out of business or puts their business in grave jeopardy. And it's not just as simple as, well, if you're good enough, you'll rise to the no. Everybody knows that being good has fuck all to do with how much money you make a lot of the times, how many clients you get. There's tons of geniuses, and I mean, I'm looking at two right now who y'all barely have been given in certain circumstances and parameters the what I think your due is based off of everything, based off of all the shit. You know what I mean? We all know what it feels like to be ganked. We all know what it feels like to work on a project and work on some shit and then have somebody else be like, whoop, and because they had the right connects or the right this or the right that, the thing that we originated is now trademarked and patented, and there's a shit ton of money coming from it, and none of it at all, not a cent, is coming to our bank. So what I'm thinking about
is I'm sorry to even cut you off, but I think I've just figured out why my disposition is different, and I think it's really because the fashion industry probably ruined me in that regard, right?
They ganked so
right.
hard.
So yeah. So starting off at Echo Unlimited, right? Starting off at Echo Unlimited, I'm working at EU like 2000 and I guess 4 or something like that, coming straight out of Pratt, and immediately I get in our first brief, my first delivery, they have a page of inspiration.
And it's all other people's shit.
It's all other people's art, right? But we want you to make this into an Echo Unlimited piece. So I got a Norman Rockwell piece where the kid is painting and looking off to the side. I think maybe he's Norman Rockwell. He's looking at himself and he's painting himself or whatever. Anyways, I turned this into an Echo Unlimited piece, right? I did it stylistically in my own way, and they were like, no, we want it to look like that.
This. We want you to bite. We want you to bite really hard.
Yeah, we're emulating this thing. And then I realized quickly in the fashion game, that's the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna go out every day. We're gonna trend shop and we're gonna pick all our samples and then we're gonna go emulate those samples. We're even gonna take the sample, give it to the production facility and have them do the cutting so exactly like this, but it's just gonna be rebranded, like white labeled or whatever. So you know, that's why I have my disposition. I realized that, you know,
and I was in the fashion industry because I was in Polo, saw the same things, and I was just heated. So I stayed heated. I was just one of the people who was just perpetually heated. I was like, this is some bullshit. Like this whole shit is such bullshit. But
so what do you think about the Photoshop thing? Do you think it's like, do you think that cheapens Well, I mean, to me, Photoshop has always kind of been.
Photoshop, no, for me, the way that like the first, and just to clarify for the folk, like what we saw is, you know, Photoshop is integrated generative AI into its workflow, so you can do things like have a photo that you're trying to manipulate, and you can just add elements that ain't there. You can take stuff out and put stuff in that wasn't there. But that's what Photoshop is. That's like, it's just the next iteration of Photoshop. For me, that's fine. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And because Photoshop is part of Adobe, and Adobe has so many artists that are like under, like in its stable that they're paying or whatever. I'm 100% fine with any of that. I mean, it's almost like if Mid-Journey had done that, if they gone to somebody like Getty, and then because right now they're getting sued by Getty, right? If they gone to like Getty and Adobe, and a few
that's fire. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Getty is suing their asses off. So because it's plagiarism, right? Anyway,
Getty's like Getty's like raping you. Getty is raping you records too, yo. They're like, why am I paying
but see, here's the thing.
for this fucking stock photo? Like, it's crazy.
Yo. Here's the deal, though. We know, like, it's a weird, twisted, messed up, whatever. But the people who are part of Getty, the artists who choose to put their images up in Getty, I tried to get some images up in Getty years ago. That was gonna be a hustle. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work out. Whatever. Point is, we know that game because it's clear. It's like you put these images, you consent, you give license, you get a little bit of a piece. If people buy it, that's a process. If Mid-Journey had gone to a whole bunch of artists and been like, yo, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, and you're gonna want a piece of this. Even if we give you a teensy bit like Spotify with them tiny little streams, you can opt in or you can opt out. If Mid-Journey had done that, I'd have had no beef. I couldn't have any beef because it's all consensual. And then you're not ganking nobody, even if you're kind of ganking somebody, right? But because that's not the way it was done, then I have a little bit of whatever. And that being said, the place where I'm really morally stuck is knowing that this is the present and future. No matter how much I rail, no matter how much I bitch, no matter how many problems I have with it, it's happening. It's gonna keep happening. And there's folk who I would much rather see jump on it and get like y'all to jump on it and roll than for me to like stay perpetually bitching. But at the moment, I can't, so I won't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pulling back from it. But on the Photoshop thing, I think it's dope. I think it's tight. I feel like they have enough resources to make it so it's not gankery, and roll with it. That's kind of how I feel about that.
I don't know. I think for me, like, I definitely was like interested in like all of like, how does this work? And I think for like a hot second when I first started, I was kind of caught up in the same, like, they're ganking all of this stuff type of mentality, like you, Micah. But then I was just like, well, I haven't been doing art in a while, just in general. So then I was just like, well, let's just have fun. Period. Like, no strings attached to, like, let's just make fun. Yeah, just have fun. And that's just kind of where I was at with it. But as I move along and I see more and I see how it's being used, it's just like that whole part about this is where it's going, it's here, and it's like we can bitch
you
about
gotta jump in.
It's like might as well just jump in and make some shit, figure it out, use it to your benefit. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how to incorporate it. So even when the rules change, that's why I was so happy when Tony put his stuff in the Discord and he had his backgrounds that look like his paintings on it. And it's like, there we go. You know what I'm saying? Because now he's splicing it up like his actual artwork. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that for me, that went both ways for me, right? On the one hand, I was like, ooh, his artwork. On the other hand, I'm like, ooh, somebody gonna take it. Now that's gonna be somebody's
gonna take it anyway.
That's gonna be somebody's background. And then somebody else gonna be put, and I like that. That bothers me, bro.
I
me ask you this:
But I think if we could figure it out and we do it right, then we can monetize it.
I'm assuming that you don't like NFTs either, then, Micah.
I used to love them, and I'm not hating on them now. Actually, no. I hate the biterness of it. Like, I hate the folk are like the ones who are choosing to do the unscrupulous version when they just yank somebody else's shit, turn it into NFT, and be like, "Hi, this is mine." Like, no. But as far as the concept, I love it. I think it's awesome. Like, really awesome. It's just the
Blockchain
ganking.
concept, right? Yeah. I feel it.
Blockchain and the assignation of value based entirely off of people being like, this is value because we say it is. Because people are like, this is bullshit. And I'm just like, so is money. What are you talking about? Like, so, like, we ain't been on fiat currency for I don't even know how many centuries. Like, what are you even talking about right now? Like, everything is just perception of value. But that's
the irony of this situation is that, you know, I got artist homies of mine that, you know, really did well in the NFT game. You know what I'm saying? Like what? So there's 2 years past, right? So say last year, a year ago, I got homies that have done really, really well in the NFT. I mean, all the way up to the level of Sotheby's, and AI has always been a part of their work. And the crazy part about a lot of artists that we knew were selling NFTs, they were using AI before the rest of us, you know what I'm saying, or the rest of the world, you know, had access or caught on, because, you know, most people really caught on the Mid-Journey on version 4. I would probably say maybe somewhere around 3 or 4, but that's 4, and so it's been
1, 2, 3, and then Dolly and all the rest.
I got homies that been using alt versions of these alt versions. They would use Dolly and X, Y, and Z, Night Cafe, different things to generate their work. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I'm not sure, you know what I mean, with how to call it, you know what I mean. I brought that up to say I don't know a lot of galleries embracing, like, quote unquote Mid-Journey artists, you know what I'm saying, but galleries have already been, you know, they've been called digital artists up to this point, as opposed to, you know, impromptu engineers, you know what I mean.
Well, it just depends. I mean, like, because it's changing so fast. Like, and again, the galleries didn't want nothing to do with NFTs, and then the bubble hit so hard, and the money, you know, they speak the money language. Yeah, I mean, they're like, yo, there's a lot of money here. We need to be the ones to embrace this shit. Otherwise, we're gonna lose the gatekeeping status. So they elevated it. So the fact that you can even say all the way up to Sotheby's, right? Is Sotheby's, that's a mark of Sotheby's PR people being like, we need to be at the top of the food chain no matter what happens. So let's just go. And there's a bunch of NFT folk who hated the fact that any of the NFT folk were selling through Sotheby's, because they were like, that's a total fucking ripoff of our whole point. Like, they were like, this is supposed to get away from the gatekeepers, and y'all just gave the power back to them. You know what I mean? So there's always whatever, but that's a separate piece. For me, I feel like, again, I want y'all to win. I want y'all to dive. I want y'all to flow, and there will be those of us who choose not to for our own reasons. Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm gonna make my shit work until it don't, and then I'll figure it out. And I'm gonna play with the tool, you know what I mean, or the toy or whatever the fuck it is. But I'm not putting my work out because it's not. I don't think it's mine. Like, I think it's bullshit for me to be like, here's my work. No, it's not. shit ain't mine, yo. It's kind of mine. It's sort of mine, kind of, sort of, a little bit. Like, how do y'all feel about ghostwriters?
I mean, for me, I think it depends on what they're writing and what like who's writing what, right?
So say you have an artist
writing, because ghostwriting for a pop song, Britney Spears, no one cares. No one cares who wrote that song. It's a great song, right? The only time it comes into question is when we think about rap and hip-hop, stuff like that, right? And then if you get into the greatest songs, some of the greatest songs, there's a ton of writers on them.
And I just heard Robert Glasper saying, you know, Robert Glasper just got on his Instagram and said, you know, look, everybody's not a songwriter and everybody's not a producer. So he was like, some of you artists, even some of the bigger artists, you need to go get those people to do that stuff for you, right? But he literally said that, right? But you know, I don't know, man. I don't consider myself a digital artist. You know what I mean? I don't consider myself. It's like I don't consider myself a graffiti artist, but I can write. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you
Like
not consider yourself a graffiti artist?
because I'm not out, I'm not out, doing walls. I'm not catching tags. I'm not putting in the work that like a, quote unquote graph head, that's a long, like, it's like I'm a house dancer, you know what I'm saying? But there's house dancers out there that are really teaching classes, traveling, and you know what I'm saying, living that lifestyle.
And even
what I mean?
Even that's tricky, right? Because
I'll battle any one of them dudes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But
even that's trippy too, because coming up, again, it's like what are the rules? What are the rules, right? Because when we was coming up in house, folk, when they started going off and blowing up and started teaching classes, we was like, that's bullshit. And they were like, why? It's like, because you can't teach how. You don't teach house. You can't do that. That's not a thing. Like, house is inside you. House is whatever the fuck you bring to this particular. That's why they said in our house, everything is house. I got schooled by old school heads because I didn't know no better. Because I came up with the people being like, that's not house, that is house. And I got, I was like, that's what it is. And then the old school heads, the OG heads from Paradise Garage and all that, they was like, nah, son, let me pull your coat. Back in the day, ballet, ballerinas, bachata, mariachis, b-boys, fucking house, all of them, when they were in the garage, when they were in the Paradise, when they were in, when they sweatbox, when they were in them clubs, it was all house. Because you're in my house. That's what it meant. So everybody could feel free to just bring what they bought. And then anything they doing at that moment on that dance floor to this freaking beat, it's all house. So it was interesting, right? So I guess we come in like almost full circle. And I'm just going to be one of those people because I do consider myself a digital artist. I do a ton of digital artwork. And I've been doing it for years. I have a piece on standby for when y'all show y'all work. I figure I was going to show one piece that ain't had nothing to do with Midjourney. It's just like one of my favorite fucking pieces I ever did. So I've been working digital for mad long and I love it. And simultaneously, as Khan or Sky will tell you, like I'm also ballpoint pen, I can pencil, I can fucking paint, I'll do all the hand shit. I don't care. Like I'll mix it out of anything. I don't care. I'm a creator.
But that's the thing. I've been on Procreate since its onset. So I mean, some people for my illustration work would consider me a digital artist. You know what I'm saying? To some degree, I
still an all-around artist, and I do feel like
that's. But what I'm saying is the cats that consider it, my homies that consider themselves digital artists, those are the ones that made the biggest splash in the NFT boom because that was exactly what they were waiting for. You know what I'm saying? It was like now I can take the digital work that I make, that's not physical, you know what I'm saying? And I can put a price to it. I can sell it to my clients. You know what I mean? I can do a lot more. This is prior to, people installing TV screens in their galleries. You know what I'm saying? Like
at the same time, that's also, they took advantage of a very specific elite bubble.
Right? And when I say digital artists, I don't mean like, Wacom creators and, and doing graphic novels and different things like that. I mean like digital artists that you would require some way to show their work in a gallery space, you know what I'm saying? That more physical, you know what I mean? Like
that's two different. We have like two different definitions because I didn't know.
I think we're one and the same if you're quantifying digital art. Like, I draw with a Wacom, you know what I mean, and I illustrate, which is a little different. I think I think
there needs to be another name or whatever because that's 100% digital art. Wacom is 100% digital art, right? So we need like an upper level name for the ones that you're talking about, like
digital art. Those are true digital artists.
Maybe digital installation art or something like that.
Those are digital artists, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd probably say I'm an illustrator, but I do digital art because I'm using Procreate, you know what I mean, to create that work. It's still digital art, but I'm an illustrator by trade, you know what I mean? I would consider myself as opposed to a digital artist. So when I say,
I'm a digital
artist. What I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I would probably say the guys using Maya and what's the other one?
Blender,
Maya, that's who really thrived in the NFT space to me.
Because it was 3D.
because it was like a way, you know, to present their work. You know, you can present a loop of work, something that's looped. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it was 3D.
That took you 300 hours to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? But I still, man, I understand your stance, and Micah, you represent, I think, a large portion of artists, man, when it comes to like to this, like, you know, to this new era that we're in, you know. It's the same argument I think that like writers have with Chat GPT and its usage, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going ham on
Yeah.
that.
Same argument, right? Like, I understand it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. We had a conversation, you know, off stream, and you were talking about, man, you're uncomfortable in it, and I told you I feel pretty much just as uncomfortable. I don't think like I don't think I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I look at somebody like Salvador Dali, you know, who did film, sculptures, you know what I mean, paint, drawing, you know,
all the things.
like, he did theater, he did all of these things, and to me, like, you know, when graffiti, I don't want to take a hard stance on some of these things, because when graffiti came out, what was the modern art world saying, right? The modern art was saying, like, this is street shit. Like, and guess who was doing it? A lot of underserved people were using it, you know what I'm saying, and starting to come up. You dig?
For me, the crucial difference in any one of these disciplines that has come before was that you had to put in the work. It was your work. None of the street graph people, none of them.
Well, there's a lot of biters, but biters got dealt with. You know,
that's the point. Even the biters, you had to, like, you got, hold up, is his signal? Okay, good. Even the biters, like, in that culture, the biters got bit, right? You know, motherfuckers like, yo, what? You know what I mean? Like, they got no respect. See what I'm saying? And they had to put in that work. Graph is an actual art. You have to learn to use the cans. You got to learn all that shit.
I think what one piece of the problem I would think that you have with AI generative work is it's too easy to come up with something that looks too good.
Pretty much, that's one. But if it was 100% generative, meaning if it was generating it out of the ethers, right, then I couldn't have the same stance. I'd just be like, wow, this sucks, but okay, like, I just got to deal. But the fact that it's not generate, the fact that it's taking it literally off the backs of people who done put in thousands of hours of work, and they're just like, you don't have to put in any of that work. Here, just have all these people's.
But when you think about doing generative work, do you like I don't know. I this is another thing I'm curious about, because I've never thought to put another artist's work into Midjourney or into any prompt. You know what I mean? I've never thought to put another artist, like,
they're already in there. That's the thing. That's the reason I have beef. You can't get a piece of art out of Midjourney that isn't other artists. It's literally impossible. You can't.
But so, I mean, you know what? I feel the same way about. Like, I do a lot of, like, you know, for my paintings, I do a lot of like iconic, you know, imagery, right? Like, I'll contrast out, you know, and do a Sade image that I find off the internet that's been shot by a photographer in 1986 or something like that. And to me, that's not 100% mine, but I just don't have the resources to go out and, you know, shoot Sade like Andy Warhol would to create an original piece like he would do a Prince or a Marilyn Monroe or something like that. So
there was just a decision made by the Supreme Court about Andy Warhol using, I believe it was Prince's,
and he lost.
Yeah, Andy Warhol lost. And the copyright goes to the photographer.
Yeah, I mean,
which would, you know, kind of affect a lot of, like, anybody painting using a picture from something else.
It's all, what I always thought was you just gotta change it enough to make it so that if you go, oh, that's definitely that, versus or not at all. You know what I mean? I didn't use references. You couldn't tell if you tried. You know what I mean? Like, you just because you've legit made it. It's like doing a cover of a song and making it yours versus doing a cover of a song and trying your best to sound exactly like whoever the fuck you cover it and doing a really good job, right? So why'd you even do the cover? Fucking, you know what I mean? Like, what do you? And then you want to get paid for your cover that sounds just like the original? What the fuck? What are you doing? That's always been my take, and I understand doing it at a concert. It's different because maybe you just always love this song and you want to sound exactly like Bob Marley doing, when I used to say whatever, right? And so the crowd is with you and you do the whole thing. But that's different from you being like, this is my track. This is gonna be the single on my album. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna try my best to sing it exactly like this artist who I've always loved, and I'm gonna totally bite his shit and then get paid off of it. The fuck out of here.
But I haven't seen that, yo. Like the work that in some of the artists that I really, like I said, like I got a homie that's been, using AI for a very long time, and very successful, and I like to think that he has his own language, even in prompting. Like he has his, I can look at certain people's work and their track of work, and they have their own language that is really hard to achieve if you're, not like if you're not. I'm not. There's a lot of digital artists or image prompters or whatever that I can't even come close to some of the things that they can get the computer to create. You know what I mean? It's a.
I don't take away.
Consider myself a super novice when it even comes to image prompting. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't take away from that. Like
that's what I think. The only thing, I guess, the only problem I have with what you're saying, and I understand your stance and your take. The only problem I have is that you seemingly are lumping a lot of people into the same category when there's people who are very ingenious with some of the AI and the way they use it, and I think that has to be acknowledged. I don't think it's all biting. I don't think it's just the AI. I think there's people who have way better ideas than others. Now, if you go to Midjourney, the hashtag, and you look and you see spacemen and dragons and fucking like Batman made his Donald Trump and shit like that.
Before you go any further, let me pause you right there so I can speak to what you just said. Let me be super, super clear, and it's kind of a paradox, but not really. Here's the deal. Mm-hmm. I feel like humans are innately genius. I feel like human artists are ridiculously genius, and I feel like we come with magic. Period. That's just it's part of being human, and not it doesn't always show up, and it doesn't blah blah. I have no doubt that there's artists who come to. It's almost like one of them an artist that's been. There's people who.
Rosa, come here. I asked my sister. Keep going. Come here. I asked my sister something. My sister's here from out of town, from Portland. You know what I'm saying? Come sit. You don't even gotta get on camera if you don't want to. I'm talking about boy Sky and Mike. You met Sky before, I think, already. It's just Micah. Anyway, she lives in Portland, and I wanted to ask her, do you think that AI art, right, is like Micah's stance and my stance are I totally understand his stance. He's a puristic artist, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a brilliant artist at that. But he feels like if you making work out of AI, that it's you're stealing from other artists, and you can't say I made this in AI and claim it as your work, because essentially the computer and the AI is doing all of the work for you. Now, so my stance on it is it's merely, I don't know if I even have a stance, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, you know what I mean? But I do know successful artists that I'm talking about artists that are Sotheby's level, that have sold their NFT work via Sotheby's, have designed from magazines and all kinds of shit. And AI is their, what they use, you know what I'm saying, to create, with a lot of post-production and other shit, you know what I'm saying? But what is your opinion on it? And I'm asking her because Rosa, she codes, man. She's a designer, you know what I'm saying? She knows neuroscience and shit. She got all kinds of different knowledge.
How familiar is she with the way these generative AI models are trained?
I'm actually very familiar with it, actually.
Can you hear?
Okay, so yeah, we can hear it clear. All right, so I'm interested in her answer because a lot of people aren't. They don't know fuck all about it. So yes, we are listening.
Yeah, like I said, she's been in this coding school and all kinds of shit. So her knowledge for this tech game is such a sturdy. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Let's get a different opinion, a woman's opinion. You know what I'm saying?
This woman's opinion. This particular woman's opinion.
Particular woman's opinion. Yes, indeed. Not monolith. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for that. So what is the question?
The question is this: do you feel that an artist has ownership of his AI work? Like if he makes a name for himself via AI, I mean, I my answer to that is AI has been being used with digital artists before the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Kind of gotten, but now that everyone has access to it, it kind of changes the scope. So what do you think? Can you have ownership of your art if it's completely AI?
I think all art is in essence you're using somebody's style because you weren't just, unless it just magically came to you and you had the tools in hand and you just did it. But when you think about art, it's iterative, just like technology is iterative. So you're going to see bits and pieces with any artist that you take, regardless of the tool that they're using. It's iterative design, it's iterative art. And in essence, you're using a tool. How you use that tool to make a name for yourself and profit from is two completely different things. Because you can have a talented artist, any medium. But if you can't make a name for yourself, if you can't grow your
audience,
product, your audience, your business model, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. So
I think, and if we think about the way that we exist in capitalism right now, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And I see, and I think that's what, and when Micah,
we think about it from a purist standpoint.
Yeah. And I understand what Micah is saying too, because there's a lot of fucking like whack people, and people even, I've come across motherfuckers that are like not even artists, you know what I'm saying, but now creating, work, and they're like they'll tote themselves as, these lifelong artists, you know what I'm saying? Because now they're like, you know what I'm saying, crafting shit,
I mean,
or whatever.
The persona, you think like people have rap personas, people have personas, like I see it even in academia.
Right.
You have folks that are really not all that popular,
but they got a doctor in front of their name.
They got a doctor, a good school, and like they have the right people working under them, and they've created a name for themselves. So I think it's a matter of, I think, from a purist standpoint, it's shitty.
It's shitty, right?
They shouldn't. Of course, we don't want it to be like that, but the game is the game. Either, however you put it.
Well, Micah, you can go in on it, because all I was just gonna say.
He basically said what I said. I was like, it is what it is. It's here.
Yeah.
I think people are gonna get over, but the get over is only like 5% compared to this 95% wave of everything must get better now. Like, like I look at, when I was telling them, I was like, when I look at AI, it's like, to me, all of the movies have to get better by next year. All of the fucking fashion design is going to get fucking better by next year. There's far more design inspo if you just look at it as a tool of inspiration. To like, it's like when motherfuckers started wearing green suits and making NBA 2K, it got better, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like they were, before it was like, we were using pixels and just trying to make Tecmo Bowl and shit. But now you really get to see motherfucking LeBron when you playing him, he's sweating and shit, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, chewing gum and all that. And that's the technology.
I think it's a paradox. And I think we as humans live paradoxes all the time, right? Like we gotta like live like it ain't no tomorrow. You better plan for tomorrow, right? Yeah, I mean, so we do that all the time. We kind of have to, and I feel like we kind of have to hold two realities when it comes to this AI shit, which is to say, like, when you're thinking about these people that you consider super talented in this game, in this AI game, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to take anything away from them, except for the fact that when I say you are using other people's art. What I mean is you're literally using other people's. It's built into the way this thing is coded. That's the way it works. Like it's
I mean, it's a matter of what's being fed to the model. Like if we understand, if we're understanding the current issues with the models is they're not getting, obviously they're not getting enough information or the right information, that it's still operating in a biased, racist,
really, really weird. Yeah. But even within that game, right? Like each prompt is connected to X amount of images, X amount of other prompts, X, and it's like a three-dimensional kind of thing, right? And so, but every single one of those prompts every image that it's connected to already existed. It's somebody's shit. And so it's different when she's talking about, like when I think her name Rosa, when she's talking about it's iterative as a human being, right? Like we're impacted and influenced by what we've experienced, but it's impossible for us to do what the computer can do. I mean, which is
the speed that a computer
not only the speed, but also the number, the sheer volume. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's so much more. And simultaneously, here's the paradox. So simultaneously, I'm not at all saying they ain't like legit, honest to goodness magic coming out this shit. I mean, that some people have worked their prompts and worked to get these beautiful freaking things. That's just like, they don't look like any of the artists that the art is made from, right? So it is a paradox, because it's like, I'm absolutely using other people's art, but I've now created my own thing out of their art.
And where I'm at is, I don't know if I would feel, I don't know, like, I don't know how comfortable I would feel about putting together like a full-fledged, I don't know. I think I probably would, I put together a digital or a prompt heavy collection of work if my language was in it, and it was a tool to get me to the finish line of what I was trying to accomplish. I'm still, I guess I'm like I haven't been painting, you know what I mean? And doing more, I've been on the computer doing more illustrative work and Procreate and doing more generative work, because it's opening my mind up to different ideas and thoughts that I've like the gold ring idea. I actually did some gold ring shit. I'll show y'all, you know what I'm saying? But it's allowing me to tap into some ideas I've always had and haven't been able to. It's like the kid that, it's like, okay, I don't have a drum set, a keyboard, and a guitar, but now I got Fruity Loops and this MIDI keyboard, and now I can make the shit that I always wanted to make. That's kind of like,
that's the democratization. That's the pro. That's one of the huge pros. And I'll be the first to acknowledge that there's a lot of pros. There's a lot of pros. You know what I mean? Like when I take off the hateration cap, there's a whole bunch of beauty that can come out of this. And the democratization is one. The iterative process in the speed, like Sky was talking about, you can do it so fast, and you can explore so many worlds and so many ideas so quickly. That's all massive. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I'm not gonna be hating forever because it's gonna take over. But while it's nascent, while it's coming up, I just want to make sure that the cats remember, like, he was hating really hard. You know what I'm saying? And then he got swept up in the wave and swallowed, and he slept with the whales. Maybe y'all should show some of y'all work.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Sky, and this before Sky you drop your shit up, like that's my main thing in this conversation we're having, Micah. I'm thinking about Sky's work, and I'm thinking about the language that he's carved with the work that he's made. And I just can't let anybody devalidate that shit. I can't let you or anybody else say, yo, he didn't make this work, so it's not his. He's got his own language. He's put in hours upon hours of time, learning, and he's teaching me shit about it. You know what I'm saying? When I put him, I feel like you started, getting into the prompting game, like kind of after I jumped into it, Sky, and you took it to another level, and in turn started calling me and giving me game about this shit. So I just can't let anybody. If Sky wants to put up a museum show of his work tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, that's his work, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
It's
that's
a collaborative. It would be a collaborative process. Like the only thing I would say is it wouldn't be, and I don't think Sky would say this. It's not 100%. It's not 100% Sky. It's like at least a partnership.
It's one. I wouldn't say that, because that's like saying
you giving it's like you giving credit to your ghostwriter.
I'm not calling
this art wouldn't exist without him collaborating with this software.
Yeah, but that's like saying, yo, everything that I do with a Montana spray paint can is like half, Montana, because
no,
you wouldn't
it's not the
that
same.
color.
No, because the spray paint can isn't bringing anything but paint. This is bringing way more than pigment.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. There is no image prompt until someone starts to type.
Exactly. And then when they start typing, what's it give you? A ton of ideas that you did not think of. Come on, let's be real with it. Let's be real.
Let's be real with it. And I'm not gonna get excited about it, because if Rauschenberg splashes paint around, Rauschenberg splashes paint around, there's something divine is happening when that paint hits the canvas, to where somebody's gonna walk up with him, and he didn't place those specs right there to form this face magically. The Most High did, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if you believe in the Most High, you know what I'm saying? But that's an actual argument that could be had, because motherfuckers like me, I'm like, I don't necessarily buy that. You know what I mean?
It's all me. Y'all see you saying.
Right. But when it comes to,
does that make sense though? When I say I ain't trying to stretch it, you know what I mean?
I think even with artists being able to speak to the process is always important.
Right.
I think especially, like the time or what it took to get there, and instead of you like pump faking and acting like it was all you.
Well, for instance, Micah, what I mean by saying that, even, and not to cut you off, what I mean by saying that is I looked at this girl, I think I was on LinkedIn or something, and this girl did a beautiful AI project, and she, explained that it took her 463 image prompts to get it was like a celebrity or something, and if you're using AI, you're not going to just be able to type in any celebrity unless they have a million pictures on the internet and get exactly. But she had this spot on to the T image of someone, I can't remember who it was, but it took her 400 and some odd prompts, which I don't know how many man hours that is. To me, I didn't even think she had to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like,
but you're an artist.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So I think but being able to speak to it or explain to the person or in an audience about your artistry, I think is what people are buying. People are not buying just they're trying to affiliate themselves with a feeling, a person, a brand. And so I think if you're able to speak to that artistry, regardless whether it's a rock.
If we're talking about respect, I definitely do respect artists that can do what they do on the fly with nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's always been the case for me. Like I love Henry Taylor as a painter, right? And it's because I know Henry Taylor doesn't have to set up like a fucking a whole unlike Kehinde Wiley, Kehinde Wiley, he has to set up references and he shoots his references and he does these beautiful oil paintings about it. I was blah, but I've always championed the guy that like Keith Haring. Like, you give Keith Haring a piece of paper and he's gonna Keith Haring that shit and give it back to you like 5 seconds. I do.
Or like a Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
You ask him to do something,
right?
It's gonna be Batman. It's gonna be Lion King.
Yeah.
You're gonna get something very epic.
I think that Sky's been mostly silent on this one, so I want to give him his art some voice and all the things. But I just think it would I think in this particular process, I think it would be remiss to act as if look, shit, that's beautiful. Yes, indeed.
Sky's work right here.
I think it would be remiss to act as if when you go to the prompt, whatever demon angel, whatever the fuck, and you get back, you know what I mean, and you get back what you get, and then you're like, that's not quite what I meant. And so you say that's not what I meant, and so you start You start jimmying it. I mean, you start like, all right, how can I finesse this?
But Micah,
but
like,
hold on, stop cutting. So
Gotcha.
what ends up happening is this prompt genie just throws a bunch of shit at you, and you're like, ooh, that's close. But you mean, ooh. So ignoring the fact that you have a prompt genie being like, whoo, here, how about this one? And you're like, no, not quite. No, how about this one? No, not quite. Like, that's bullshit to me. That's bullshit.
Well, it's also bullshit that when I say my favorite movie is The Wiz, I fucking say Quincy Jones is that nigga. But Quincy Jones didn't do all of that shit. You feel me? Quincy Jones hired all of the motherfuckers to do this, the set design and the costumes and shit. He gave them the vibe he wanted. He gave everybody the game he wanted, and he just he engineered it. And that
how many Wizzes did the people that he hired give him?
What do you mean?
How many? Did they give him like 40 different versions of the Wiz and he chose the one he wanted? No, that's not how it works.
That is how it works. That's it. That is how it works. That's why a creative director, and I've had these type of creative directors who walk into a room, I'll give them 20. I had a creative director a couple years back. I will fucking put all of my fucking comps on the wall, right? Motherfucker will come in, dead ass, like whenever he felt like it, off a hangover, off the rosé, rip the shit off the wall, ball that shit up, and be like, yo, this is trash, yo. And fucking then 3 days later, Tony, where's the fucking other thing that you had? Then we fucking took it off the wall or whatever. And I had to go get the shit out the trash and uncrumple that shit and reprint it out.
We label those people.
That's a creative director, yo.
No, we label those people assholes.
but
and he had the title. He had the title of creative director, but he was
he's an award-winning asshole. You know, award-winning design asshole.
Yo, these people.
You know
okay, all right, I'm gonna take my hateration cap completely off right now so I can admire this beautiful.
That's I'm just playing devil's advocate because I like to piss Micah off too because he's so passionate about this shit too.
Gorgeous. All right, so Sky, you gotta talk to us about where you was going. Is these snake people? What are we doing? Why are they so beautiful? What's happening?
I was trying to get my aliens tight. You know what I'm saying?
So you pulled you went sideways from the ceramic niggas, right? Like, and you on
porcelain niggas, man. Porcelain
niggas. Yeah. I mean, it was always a sci-fi mission. So the porcelain people just kind of think of a porcelain. Civilization planet, of just porcelain folk,
And just so y'all know, Micah literally never uses the word niggas except when I'm talking to these two gentlemen right here. And Sky's concept was porcelain niggas. I didn't make that up. Okay.
We're strictly meaning never ignorant, getting goals accomplished for all those out there that don't understand. You know what I'm saying? The great late words.
Sure.
Never ignorant.
And I mean, and to my credit, most of
take your cursor, pull your cursor to the side. Is that my cursor or yours? I think that's okay. There you go. Slide through. Let me see what else you got. I think you got a full chamber
of an entrepreneurial, go get it type of status.
So you're trying to put together a body of work
for sure.
It's working. Yeah. It's working. Let's see the next one. Why is this beautiful though? God damn. Okay, so this one's giving me Avatar vibes. I can't front.
That's tough, yo. I even like the way I like the way the back joints is distorted. Because like that kind of means. So all right, here's my thing, Micah. Like if this is Sky's proof of concept, he brings this to a studio, he storyboards this and puts this in the storyboard, and then they take these characters and they create a movie or a film from it. Should Sky get the credit for it?
Does Sky get the credit for the original concept?
For this, if this is his concept work,
for me, Sky gets 100% credit for the concept. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. Okay, they looking slightly demon in the back. They give me.
I like the way they all got the Jada Pinkett cuts too.
They give me like clone vibes in the back with the glowing eyes. But
they all got the Jadas and shit.
This one in the front is delicious, yo. That's what Black Panther did.
So they can see. Hey, you got. I'm gonna let Rosa slide in, so she gets. So Yeah,
She's
so
like,
you
I'm
can
not trying to be on camera, motherfucker. Like I was doing
so right here, this is
She's
it
like,
right
she's
here.
like, I'm gonna be behind you. Hi, Rosa. How you doing?
Your reaction and shit, goddamn.
this-
She like that shit's trash, boy. You know what
Hold
I'm
up, they
saying?
couldn't see, and they got the same nipple problems. Is that the deal, or did you mask
Fire.
them?
They don't need nipples, man. Get
No,
your
they
mind out.
do need nipples. Every breast needs a nipple, bro.
I will admit nipples are a national treasure, you know what I'm saying? But in this
my
case,
God.
you know what I'm saying, you don't know if this species,
these are mosaic areolas. You know what I'm saying? Don't
yeah,
worry.
yeah. Yo, what's incredible, all right,
The braille joint. The braille
right,
joints.
it's braille. That's what sister said is braille. Bro. That's
Mosaic areolas.
That's
That
all.
is so dope. Mosaic.
Yo,
Yo, I may have to write that down, bro. Yo,
I'm
you just
getting
gave me an
Dane
idea.
County vibes right now with this hairstyle right here. You know what I'm saying? Where does Bon Jovi South Florida represent? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you know.
I'm writing
Okay,
down
so
mosaic areola.
all right, so now my next question is, how does the AI get here? You know what I'm saying? Like how does the AI is this that much smarter in terms of being a designer or artist than the human mind? Or, like, cause this is like some Geiger shit, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it was trained with Geiger in there, right? Like you do understand that's yeah.
Well, it's everything, right? This is what happens when you pull from
It's
a
pulling
world
from
of
all the
resources, right? Yeah, from all the things. I got you.
areola. I'm totally writing that down. Areolas.
This
Mosaic
one, yo, I
areola.
love the sleepy eyes on this one, and I love the fact in the background you got like these red eye creatures. Even the light, man, is super fire. Like just the light in this is like a
Yeah,
whole
I
other
mean,
way.
I just was trying to create like different races, you know.
Yo, the
He's being a
Like I
legitimate
like how her
racist.
neck is like, you
All
know,
tweaked out.
chords.
Yo, the necklace neck, bro, is crazy. Yo, the necklace neck is.
I like
Mhm.
when you can't tell the difference between like a biological marking and a headdress.
Yeah,
fire.
that is definitely something that I like try to work at.
That shows up in my drawings a lot. I love that.
Mm. This one's crazy, bro. This is like, because I can see this being a bust. And I love like the texture, man. Like this is like I haven't produced anything.
That was like all of those ones before were kind of me trying to get like kind of what Michael was trying to say, where you can't tell the difference between the
skin and the accoutrements, the jewelry.
The jewelry.
That's fire, bro. This one right here, I'm marking this as my favorite thus far. I
like the one like 2, 3, 4 back. Oh, this one looked like she could have been on Fifth Element.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love that movie. I always love that movie.
I am down for another one if they could do it right.
I'm so down. I'm so down. That's one of Chris Tucker's most underrated roles, man.
Yeah, he had the little dick on his head.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
Oh,
I did something similar. I got something similar, you know, to this joint, man. Like in terms of that head top right there, you know what I'm saying? Like, but look at the it's like a mosaic on her chest and neck. You know what I'm saying? Almost it's like a mosaic. You did.
It kind of looks like armor to me.
Yeah.
I like the inlay. I like the way it looks like it's inset.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that you even get the hair underneath the headpiece. You know what I'm saying? Like the separation, like it's got a real feel to it. I also like all of the minimalist shit, like where it's just you got the background color. It'd be dope to see something like this where you do a contrast color, like if orange was behind her and then she was blue. You know what I mean? That'd be crazy. That's a little Photoshop look. You dig?
Yeah.
So how much? So have you gotten, Sky? Have you gotten to the point where you post production at all, or you purely just, is this still just the AI?
This is just the AI, but I have started to
play around a little bit.
Play around with
because that's where
those over here yet.
That's where shit gets even more muddy for me. That's when I don't even know if I'm allowed to bitch anymore. When cats create some stuff and then they pull it in a post and then they do crazy shit to it. And then because at that point you've basically done, like I said, like you did a cover of a song, but you made it your own. So now it's like, I mean, I can't hate but so
Yeah,
hard.
no, that's on its way for sure.
Hey, you look familiar.
Crazy.
Wow, the details.
And another thing, too, man, Micah, like real quick, and Sky, you already know we share the same sentiment, bro. The thing that's fascinating about this, and Sky, you know, he said this brilliantly in the last time we talked, is that it's just good to see black faces in a space that we've always wanted to see him in. Like, we're underrepresented in sci-fi. We're starting to, you know, win some awards in the comic book world. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the name? This is crazy. You got, you know, but it's just crazy to see. Like, I'm getting the Pharaoh, Egypt. You know what I mean? I'm getting that whole, you know, regal. What's the movie? Black Panther shit. You know what I'm saying? Where it's going.
Black Panther gave us gold. Between Black Panther and Black is King, we have some glorious freaking images. And I will say that since the sort of mass exposure to this software, I have seen more ridiculously beautiful black images than I've ever seen in my life. Like, I will say that there's a ton.
Which we remiss to not say that's not a dope aspect. That Afrofuturism hashtag is growing tremendously on Instagram. Yo, I watched it go from like 500 to like, I don't know, a couple thousand now or whatever.
Yeah, it's like bananas. It's bananas. The one thing I like but don't like right when it comes to some of these is how it gets the textures perf or not. Like, sometimes I want it to be more metal, or sometimes I want it to be less. You know what I mean? Like, and it messes with me a little bit. Like this one in particular.
That's where the post to come in, right? That's where the post production come in. Right?
She's beautiful. She's fucking
now,
beautiful.
Micah, like, let me tell you this. I would have just as much as a problem as you have with the AI if an artist just like took all of his AI and painted it. Then I would be like, that's more the AI than the artist. Does that make sense?
That makes no sense at all. Like, not even a little bit. Because you just said that Sky could have a full-on museum joint and it's his work. So how you gonna not be able to paint off your work?
Well, my problem is
have it both ways.
Like, all of his ideas came out of AI, but he's passing himself off as this brilliant nigga.
But you said nah. You said it's not really the AI. You said it's the prompts. You said it's an artist with them prompts.
No, because I feel like if you're told yourself as a digital artist, then I know that you're using you're using these as this is great. Using these aspects as a tool. I love that you feel the woodenness here too.
Like reminds me of Busta Rhymes.
Give me some more or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But Micah, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the people who I don't want you to hide your AI work and then say, look, here are my brilliant ass ideas. I came up with this alien woman out of a dream and the shit came from AI. And just because you painted it doesn't mean like that's your idea.
I honestly feel like you trying to have it both ways, and you can't. You can't tell me that this is his art and then say he can't paint off of it and claim it.
If he's a digital artist, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing.
Sky ain't call himself no digital artist. Sky's just playing with the tool.
You're telling your audience that you use AI as a tool, so they have that understanding. But it's like this is what I've heard from a lot of traditional artists. Oh, I'm not showing my AI work. You know, I'm just gonna be painting all of this shit. You know, and what? So if I come up to you and I ask you to draw me this shit, you can't draw it for me because it doesn't come from you. You know, you have to go and prompt.
But hold on. You said it is coming from him because he's the one doing the prompts. You can't have it both ways.
I can't have it both ways. Listen, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, I'm not there's people have told me, oh, Tony, you shouldn't show your AI work. You gotta like keep the magic. This is crazy. You gotta keep the magic in your shit. You know what I'm saying? But to me, that's like trying to get over.
This is giving me hardcore Avatar vibes, no doubt. I mean, no joke. I can't even front. Like, but she's.
I feel like this is how they should have done Avatar if they were gonna do it.
Avatar, I'm gonna just put it out here, man. I don't care who get at me, yo. The last Avatar they made was racist AF, yo, and I can't.
I loved it.
Super racist.
Loved it.
Super, bro.
I fucking loved it. I loved it. Straight up and down. Loved it.
I think Mike and I just don't. We don't meet no way.
I feel like
He's like, I loved it. I was like, I hated that shit. It's terrible.
Fucking bomb ass movie. It was dope.
Why do all of the aliens have to have like ethnic, what they would consider ethnic hairstyles?
Right, but non-ethnic.
I was like, you have
voices.
aliens. Aliens can have any type of hair, my nigga. Like you can make it
Right. But
so here's an answer to that, right? And I'm not.
Well, no. Go back,
no,
Sky.
like
Go
even,
back, Sky.
but that's what I'm saying. Look at the hair. Like
That's
you could have
amazing.
went any direction.
Right.
They could have, and I'm not saying the one. Honestly, if I had any beef with Avatar 2, it was the hair. I can't front. If I had any beef with Avatar 2, it was the hair. But my answer to that to me is that he was doing the thing that a whole bunch of people are calling racist. I'm like, okay, he was doing the thing where he's like, these people are a metaphor for all these disenfranchised, colonized, fucked up indigenous people that we on Earth, Europeans on Earth, have just fucked up. So instead of me making them Indian or black or African, I'm gonna make them fucking alien on a different planet, so a whole bunch of the colonizers can actually understand what it is to take over some shit.
It wasn't for us.
You sound just like the people that are trying to, explain Cleopatra and them not using any Ethiopians in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the Ethiopians. The Ethiopians are pissed off because Cleopatra is some chick they got like that. I don't know what her ethnicity is, but there's really beautiful Ethiopians they could have used for that.
You can say that, except for the fact that Cleopatra actually existed and this race didn't. So what the fuck are you talking about?
This is why I hate talking to this smart ass nigga right here, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this shit is just the no wins. You know what I mean? But Micah, you gotta meet me halfway, bro. Like, if you're gonna put dreads and cornrows and all this indigenous shit to the people in it, bro, it has to have some thread of authenticity that's connected to that group in which it originated. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. I just
but I also agree with you that it's dope to make us all a one thing. You know what I mean? He was just
trying to use it as a metaphor. I just felt like he was using it as a metaphor, and it was an ignorant looking metaphor. I'll give you that. It was definitely an ignorant looking fucking metaphor. I will totally acknowledge that. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yo, this man, I get like the like real underwater vibes, man. Like you got coral and you got coral reef. So this one is crazy ill.
Yeah,
this is crazy ill right there. If I did post on this, I'd probably like Photoshop the neck piece and put gills on her neck or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Neck piece.
Well, maybe do like straps in the neck piece so you can see the gills underneath.
That's fucking fire. This is crazy, yo. And what you've been able to achieve, bro, like in terms of like, I see you kind of getting more real feel. I guess that's probably because you're using more Midjourney now, or are you still using your other app? Like, what are you?
I've been going back and forth. I still use both of them, but yeah, I've been using Midjourney more. But
it's hard to tell. It's just fire.
A bunch of these, like 98% are like, okay, that's my favorite. No, okay, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is crazy. Like texture wise.
This is a Afro futuristic Tron.
What is that, Simone? Or they had that. Is this like a female robot?
Oh, Ex Machina type shit.
No.
Yes, that movie was dope. Oh my
super dope. I watched it times, yo. I definitely watched Ex Machina a couple times. Now we need I don't know, Black Machine.
Black something. Yo, because ever since Black Panther, Black Panther, we've been blessed with so many things. Like I feel like between Black is King, Black Panther, and The Harder They Fall, we just been super blessed. We got Western, we got Afrofuturistic boom boom, and then we got all the things that Beyonce stuck in that one freaking powerful ass holy shit conglomeration of videos that would not have existed without. Like I feel like Black Panther paved the way for it. Yo, okay, these right here. Now to me,
crazy, yo.
This is stupid.
It's crazy, yo. It's the Supremes, yo.
This is like STOOPID. Like this is dumb. This is beautiful. For the people listening, going, why is he cursing at it? No, man. I mean, it's fucking hot.
That's that's the thing, bro. Like my thing is like if you take these and you get a fabricator and you make girls' dolls out of them, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what people are doing. I mean,
I told you, I'm not. It is the game. Like I'm not mad at it. If y'all jump in, please do. Like do the thing. I'm just what the fungus.
This is an ill idea, yo.
They're gonna have a hell of a hard time getting around, boy.
They got to move together.
That one on the right, she need to eat a little more. You know what I'm saying? She got
that'd be a fire sculpture, right? Like, you know, you just put your I just stick my fitted on top of that, you know, when I come home, you dig. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fine. That would be great 3D print for sure.
I actually like that one. I like that. I like that a lot because that and they got the nipples. Thank you. I like that one because
they got the stretch Impala in the back too, yo. The Impala / Chrysler 300 joint. You know what I'm saying? Like hard body in the back.
I like that there's light that's coming from externally, and it feels like there's also light that's being generated internally, like from the hat looking shell gill, all the things. I like that her hair turns into that. That's bananas.
Does that? I mean. Tony, I'm wondering from an artist's perspective, as far as like paint, a painter, and you're looking at how light is cast.
Well, to some degree, like this one right here, right?
It would have like 3 different light sources.
Right. If an artist would look at this and like the lights, the natural light would come from one side, you know what I mean? This one, the light is just hitting all the spots where it needs to hit kind of evenly, you know what I mean? But you can't tell if it's front lit, back lit. That's the advantage of being a real artist. You can set up your reference and your really
cameras and your lights and your all the things.
So for me, for this one, it would be better if the right side of the face was darker, right? And all of the light source came from. But that's something you could do in post production. Somebody can just take it in Photoshop and you can hit it on that right side, and it'll look crazy.
This one's beautiful. Hi. Now that's giving me Fifth Element. These are things I wish. So so we need to start a petition for Fifth Element too.
I'm down. I'll sign right now. Where do I like? Can we get it going?
That shit hard, bro. This is one of my favorites, dog.
Yeah, I'm feeling this.
It's like my third pick right here. You feel me? Like this is
kind of hard. And you know what the trippiest part is there's a piece that goes, wait, are those exhaust pipes coming off her fucking neck? Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
The two things that like AI should be like the game on. Makeup artists and hairstylists, because the hairstyles I be getting out of the AI is so crazy.
Bananas.
And now, look, I ain't never seen a girl with no makeup on her face that look like that, yo.
I actually have, and it's ridiculous that this shit is so dope. This girl, if she smoked, the smoke is coming out them pipes on the side.
That's hard. That's hard.
Hey, girl.
So the only thing I'm thinking is like, you hit so many different chambers. Is there one of these that you would just like, I'm going to just make like, I don't know, fucking a whole collection just based on, because like to me, you got one chamber. Go back real quick. You got one chamber
vinyl on her neck, like just below her ears.
Yeah. You got this one chamber where it's like blank colors in the back. And I really like all of these, like the minimalistic one color background joints.
I actually like them better when they got.
I don't know if I stumbled on like the one that I like really want to like dive into, you know. But I do like the single backgrounds. But I kind of felt like I was getting a lot of like empty backgrounds.
Yeah,
for a lot of them. So, I got back into like trying to have like some actual environments.
And Micah, when I see shit like this, bro, like I want to see these. Like I would love to walk into a gallery and these be painted 6 feet tall. You know, large format, and there's just like 10 of them in the gallery, like 5s. I would love that shit, yo. I would buy that shit and put it in the crib in a heartbeat, or the epoxy coat, or like a like, you know what I mean? Like it just be some ill shit.
Why he look like a repentant football player?
I mean, sometimes football players gotta repent,
right? It's like a beehive or something like that. Like
he screwed up and he's apologizing, but he was like worshipped as a god on his planet, and he
somebody told him some bad information.
He abused the power because he was worshipped as a god. He abused the power, and now he's like, I'm so sorry, please forgive me.
his long lost love is running. I don't know.
He had,
Yo.
Yeah, I remember them. You put them up on the Grizzly or in our chat or something. I seen them. I like them.
In the chat.
Yeah, I want to hit one of their heads with a hammer and just hear the vibraphone like the sound bath, yo. The sound bath.
Nah, you forgetting.
Like,
These people
the
are
sound bath
walking. These people are walking telephones. That's what you're missing.
That's how you get the telepathic messages.
That's that Alexander Graham Bell times Afrofuturism shit.
Yo, they look like the girls that sing "It's a groove thing." It's the groove thing going on. Okay, let me keep. That was my jam, yo. Just in case you ain't know, that was my shit.
I heard that earlier today.
Free jams, baby. You know how I catch that.
I only got that's some. They stuck in some BDSM joints now. We're like, okay, hold on, wait.
What's the cause? It's like a cause, like a live cause.
I don't know. Don't tell my wife, but I just like the nipple touch. Like it's just like, you know, yo. I ain't never seen the girls taking pictures with the dudes. Let's put your girls out, yo, ladies, put your nipples together. Just a couple.
Hey, don't tell my wife like we ain't streaming live. This is hilarious.
Well,
okay.
She knows already. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
There's another nipple touch for you. Rock on.
Oh, I feel like there's a theme here.
The nipple touches,
it.
bro.
I get it.
The nipple touch. Actually,
is that
nipple
a
touch
is the line of prompt. Nipple touch.
Nipple touch is the name of my new band and shit. You know what I'm saying? I got to drop.
I mean, they did say with AI, it's like with the images that it's been fed, it over sexualizes.
It over sexualizes.
There is nothing wrong with over sexualization of AI art.
I don't think I think I made a couple of mistakes. This is crazy.
Like, hold up, wait. What did this dude just say?
Yo, you gotta upscale this one, bro. I would love to see you put this in as a describe and see what else it comes up with. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something crazy about the fucking light coming out the head, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. The light coming out the head on this show is fucking fire.
Yeah.
Concept. I'm writing down nipple touch as the band.
Yo, I need some nipple touching mermaids from YouTube, bro. Like I you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you don't know. Oh, this is a good.
Okay, look. So Sky, you ODing, man. Let me while Rosa's here, man. Micah, show Rosa something that you got.
I got one thing. So how do we do this again?
We put it up real quick. Hold up. Let me
Sky, this one is bananas.
Picture present, and I'm gonna take you here. Let me see what
if the nipples are touching, you can keep it to yourself.
I want to while you cue yours up real quick, Micah.
And Sky, did you share screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show you one. Let me see which one of these. Remember we talked about I don't have anything to show, you know, more or less. I got one thing I'm gonna show y'all, and it's only because we talked about this before, and this is something I was experimenting with, but I have not. Which one, Rosa? This one. Let me see. This one.
I'm just showing one piece.
This one.
Oh wow. No,
this one. No, it's not a good one. Maybe. Well, I gotta give you context to these. Like I did this. I did a gold ring was one of the first. Oh, I know which one I want to show you.
All right, but hold up. Rosa's busy staring at your screen, but we can't see nothing.
Yeah, here I'm gonna show you one real quick. This is like
Sky. This image is bananas, bro.
This is one. Oh, I got you, Micah. I got you about to pop up, but hold on. Let me just show you guys this real quick.
This image is stupid, yo.
I got more in the chamber, you know.
I mean, you went ham. You got plenty. You got like hundreds and shit.
Oh man.
Oh.
So this is this is something I was playing around with the gold ring, and I did a couple like initial things with the gold ring. You know what I mean? None of these are worked out. But I just wanted to show y'all this because I was just fucking around like with the gold ring, and this is a couple of like things that I got.
I like the inside of that ring right there. Like I like that inner ring. That shit is tight. That's hella tight. Like that's the way rings aren't made. Normally that's on the outside.
Imagine people designing rings off of like.
Oh, we already that I got a couple of those, but I wanted
like
yeah, you could do it totally. You know what I'm saying? I did a couple Jesus pieces and stuff like that, but I wanted to show y'all this, man. This is just like this some gold ring things that I've been kind of playing around with.
Hold on. Let me see that one on the lower. You go low. There. They're not up. There.
This one, oh
Okay.
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a better one than that.
My eye went straight to it, like ding, ding, ding.
Wait, yeah, I like this.
That's not the one.
I like this one. Yeah, this is a cool one.
I like the one you just had because she had attitude.
Yeah, but I don't really like these. Are texturally these are not like what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah,
but I was
yeah.
with the ring shit. You know what I'm saying?
This is dope.
I like this attitude, bro.
Here we go. Bam. Let me get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just some,
not,
I had a full day of doing a bunch of real bullshit prompting. So I can show y'all a bunch of shit, you know, but I would be doing Sky a disservice because this shit was so fire.
It doesn't. It's not showing it.
I got your screen is. I see
the screen, but it's not showing the actual joint I want. So let me see if it'll.
Can you double click on your joint? Here, you want me to
Can you see what I'm seeing?
I'm seeing just your you must have your own screen up.
Yeah, hold up. Stop
here, I will show you guys
screen.
I want you to take a look at this is kind of cool. Wait, I did a bunch of kicks.
Try that one just so you can see her.
Oh yeah, I got you. Wait, fucked it up. Bam.
There we go. That is one of my favorite digital illustrations I've ever done. That's the Kali evocation.
I like that. Yeah.
It's crazy. And that's all so going in
that's Clip Studio Paint, that's Photoshop, that's like a whole bunch of different things put together. Like, but she makes me so fucking happy. And I know a whole bunch of people who do this and think it's cool. A bunch of digital artists I actually really admire do this, and I've never done it. When if they're gonna do a digital painting, they'll use a photo reference and they'll draw over it or paint over it and then take it out. I never do that ever. I'm always drawing, like even if I'm using reference, I'm copying, like I'm drawing it, I'm looking at it and drawing.
I'm always drawing over stuff and then pulling it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm late.
I never draw over them ever. Because for me, just my personal, I'm just like, no, that's cheating. Even though I know whatever, right? But I never. So all my joints is always me drawing it while looking at it, which for me is like one step removed. So it means that like
crazy.
It's always
I like the ins and outs of this one. You know how the background, like you got the square and the triangles and the angular stuff that comes out, and it's like shit that's popping out in front of you, like the rattle at the bottom to the bottom right. And it's fine, you know what I'm saying? And then you got to look at each one of the hands to see what they're doing. One is punching, one is fucking like pushing you back, one is say give me something. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's great, man. It's
Now that's crazy.
It's ill, man.
Oh, and we're drinking the blood.
The drinking the blood. Please.
So this Kali is actually an Indian deity, and she is known. It's actually apropos because this was commissioned by a Indian gentleman, and Kali is known as the goddess of destruction, of violence, of blood, but it's destruction, it's creation through destruction. She tears shit down so you can rebuild. And she, she was called upon because there was some trouble or whatever, and she came, and her cure for the trouble was just murder. Like she just murked everybody to the point where they had to call other gods to be like, yo, could y'all please calm her down? And one of their main gods came and kind of calmed her down.
That story, yeah.
So she's a major deity in their pantheon. I'm not even gonna say mythology because for them it's real and it's alive and it's it's vibrant. And so this was a sort of homage to her. This isn't her, but that's why it's the Kali evocation, because she's calling in that kind of energy and blood and drinking it and heads. She's frequently depicted with like holding the heads and her tongue out and blood all over the place. That's where that came from.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's funny. I've never ever seen a depiction of a black
deity.
Yeah,
a black deity or like brown.
just like a depiction of a black
Yo,
woman.
her arm is going through the
Wait,
body of the snake.
Yes. But hold on, but Rosa, say that again.
Sorry.
I've never seen a woman of color depicted in like all those powerful kind of phrases that you use, or even the imagery for it. It's just like I've always seen. I would never describe like the personas that I've seen around black women or indigenous women as like docile.
I knew that,
but not like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to see the vastness and like the emotions that women can have, and like rage is definitely not. I mean, we I think have been socialized to think black women are angry all the time, but not like this. This is dope.
Yeah.
Or just like the notion of like, destroying to rebuild.
And it's, I think even in the black diaspora, it's almost like frowned upon to like depict the black woman in a like rageful fucking like chopping your head off type of fucking way. You know what I'm saying? Like
the one pushback I'll give y'all is that it sounds like you haven't seen a lot of art from the Yoruba tradition. And because they have a bunch of, like Oshun, Yemaya, Shango, like a bunch of them. Some of them they have aspects that are super nurturing, and then others on some old like what So look up some of the Yoruba Orisha, the Orishas, and you'll catch some imagery. And then there's also some stuff from Haiti, and the Haitian lore, where they have like they got some women in their pantheons that are like, you do not fuck with them.
It's fire, bro. That's hard body, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's hard body, man. Like, I
would turn this into a tattoo just off the cuff, off the strength.
Well, he's close to Oregon. If y'all need to link up, you know what I'm saying? Where's Bon Jovi? Here, I'm gonna close it out, man. I'm gonna show one thing before I go, man. Just to get out, because I want to hear Micah's take on this. I'm
always ready to give a take.
Give a take, man. Okay, so I'm gonna actually show this joint, man.
Thank you very much for giving us the clip, or some of the clip. I know you got more in the chambers, but
it's actually fire. My bad. Hold on a second. I
appreciate the feedback too.
Oh, Ivy.
So this is the I guess I can't show the actual album art. I'll show one that's not been selected, you know what I'm saying? But
you say, let me not fuck around and let this total industry secret slip real quick on national live. Like my client be like, you did what? Nah, ain't nobody see it.
I'm trying to load up. So what Sky was talking about, he was talking about doing some of me trying to put my language into some of the work, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up messing around with trying to put some of my design and mixing some of the design with Midjourney. And
is that the ones that you put up on you showed on us, and you put up on your gram?
I put these on the gram this week, man, and I just wanted to just like, so this is here I put one, like this is one of the ones I liked actually.
I actually like that Excite Bike joint.
Oh, you like this joint? Here, this was like, I can kind of click through this one. Yeah, it's like the CNN one, and this one. So I'll just keep the Sight Bike one up then. So this is like this me, oh shit. This is me putting in, because I've done an Excite Bike painting, and it was based on the Paid in Full, the Paid in Full joint with Alpo Rich and what's his name, man? And so I just dropped the Excite Bike in. I'm completely, I feel like I take logos because they've taken everything from us. The fucking any one of these major fashion brands, the Fendi logo, that's African. You know what I'm saying? The all of these designer logos and shit that, you know, the Versace's and the Fendi's of the worlds, man, that all came from. You ever seen? There's literally an African tribe that's had that double F that Fendi uses hundreds of years back. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like I can reappropriate things from my childhood, man, and logos and different shit like that. In the back of this is the BET logo, but this is my first attempt at just blending some of the AI with some Photoshop work and mixing it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I to me, it's still like a reference for something else, I guess.
So you wouldn't use that as a finished piece?
I don't think I would use any of my AI as a finished piece right now, as where I stand. You know, like I'm just in the like on all of my posts, even on Instagram, I'm kind of toting them as explorations. You know what I'm saying? I haven't gotten comfortable with the idea of them just being my work because I'm a painter. You know what I'm saying? Like still, that's why I say I don't consider myself a digital artist, but just opening another chamber with this work, you know, I think one thing I'll say, man, not trying not to be too long-winded, is that I think some of the things that we're doing in the present will shape our future. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, the chamber that even Sky is opening up right now with his work, you know, that like, you know, he could be, you know, doing storyboards in Hollywood off the strength. You know what I'm saying? He could, there's a number, he could be doing a graphic novel. He could be doing a number of different things in 15 minutes from now. You know what I'm saying? With the work. And for me, this has all been, it's been getting me back into the program, getting me back into to Adobe in different ways. I've been learning more. I've been getting more in Lightroom more than I ever have. You know what I'm saying? Doing posts and learning more AI generative apps and different things like that I wouldn't be as open to had it not been for these new platforms. So, yeah, man,
I think these, like, I like the fact that it starts to look like your work and you got there in a digital way. But I don't know, maybe you haven't thought of this or maybe you have, but it just seems like a natural progression that's at some point you're going to print these out and you're going to put them on your wall and you're going to paint right over top of this shit.
Possibly. I've been thinking about that, you know what I'm saying?
You know I think that's when it's going to be even iller, to be quite honest. You know, it's like,
because these all look like, you know,
becoming like a true mixed medium of digital and the classic, I think is something that like would be like super fire.
But I'm playing with the idea that you were saying, Micah, like that I'm trying to tether both sides. And there has been work that I looked at and be like, damn, I want to paint that, you know what I'm saying? But I just ain't got there yet, you know what I'm saying? And then I think even if I did paint that, I would have to tell my audience that I generated the work in AI first. I would have to do that.
That's because your personal moral compass is legit. That's all.
And that's all I'm saying.
For me, that's real and that's powerful. Now, what's trippy is, you know, you were commenting earlier to Rose that like me and you just be bashing heads sometimes. And what's interesting is it's also even on your own work, right? Like, because for me, the ones with like I personally, I've always loved concepts, a bunch of concept stuff. I don't love the joints where he takes logos from people and does the things because I'm like, whatever. But
yeah,
for me, my favorite of your generative work, like favorite, are the ones that you showed me and Sky where like it was just black people, but it was looking kind of grainy. It had like a little bit of a gold tint to it, and they look like they smoke like super fat doobies that like do stuff to your freaking brain. Like that looks like nothing I've seen. That looks like that looks like you getting into the place where it's a voice and it's a language, and I don't see it. I don't see it. You know what I mean? Like I don't see it. Like I don't see it on the platform. I don't see it nowhere. And it's like beautiful. And those kinds of images, like and what Sky was showing earlier, they piss me off in a way because they're so beautiful. You know what I mean? So there's a whole bunch of artists going, you know, nah, it's soulless. None of the work coming out there. And I'm just like, you full of shit. I'm sorry. Like I can't. Some of this shit is gorgeous. Like it's gorgeous, right? And precisely because it is. It's just like, God damn it, right? So, you know, it's just like this constant paradox. But I will say that some of the, you know, I've seen more Black fantastic depictions in the last like 3-4 months than I have in my life. Yeah, I mean, like there's so much gorgeous, glorious content coming out right now. I'm just like, you know, I'm accepting that it's beautiful. I'm rooting for y'all to like win. I'm not gonna jump on this particular train yet. Like I didn't play with it. I burn it out and I'm good. Fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go back to my pens. I'm gonna go back to my Cintiq, you know. And I've started playing with ChatGPT, and that shit is blowing my whole mind. Oh my God. So you know, it's just like to at least become familiar with the tools. I feel like it is the now, it is the future. What was the question, Scott?
I was just curious, like what did you do in ChatGPT that like simplified you? Because I started playing around and it just pissed me off because it wasn't achieving.
This dude is gonna be a hypocrite and be like, "Yeah, I just wrote my whole fucking new graphic novel just
I can't let it write for me. I refuse. I absolutely refuse. My morals are too strong, right? But what I did do was I was like, all right, and I finally signed up because I've never interacted with it at all. So I was like, all right, so can you create alternative universes, alternative histories if I tell you to ignore the facts? And it's like, yes, I can totally do right? And I was like, all right, so let's start in World War II. It's like, okay, what part of World War II do you want to start? And I'm like, yo, I was freaking out just because it's like asking me questions. I'm like, yo, are we having a conversation? Am I talking to a fucking robot? This is blowing my mind. Okay, fine. Okay, cool. So let's start in the middle of World War II. Tell me what historians say is one of the most pivotal moments in the middle of World War II. It was like the Battle of Stalingrad. I was like, all right, bet. I've heard of that. Cool. Excellent. So let's start our alternative history 2 weeks before the Battle of Stalingrad. It's like, bet. I was like, now we're going to add some supernatural elements. It's like, ooh, what a twist.
That's hard. That's hard.
It was just like, adding supernatural elements will set the stage for ultimate. I was like, all right, you're going too fast. Pull back. All right, let's start from here. It was like, okay, all right, sorry. I apologize for going too fast. I was like, you ain't got to apologize. Just stay. We good. I'm super thrilled about it. It's like, I'm thrilled that I can help you. I was like, yo, this is blowing my mind right now.
You know what's interesting about that dialogue? Because it's a natural, it's
conversational.
It's the way the conversation is structured. It's a natural flowing conversation. In addition, the way that we talk is based off of the people that are around us. And so when you are talking to ChatGPT, you're consciously building your vocabulary as you're reading it because you're saying the stuff.
You're subconsciously building it.
And so then you have these conversations. You might even talk to your kids the same way. So the way that
it's brilliant.
It's gonna like expand our capacity for communication.
Mine is actually the opposite because I asked the computer, I was like, yo, if I use my own slang, are you going to understand me? And it was like, I am trained on a whole bunch of different ones, and as you use it, please speak to me in any way you want, and as you use it more, I will answer you to the best of my ability, but I'll get better. And I was like, excellent. So already I'm tweaking. I like tweaking other, I like tweaking language.
No, real quick, we'll cut you. What she just said just now is, yo, prompting. I'm already beginning in Sky. I know this is probably the same thing for you, bro. We're automatically, subconsciously able to communicate in a prompt engineering language better than just 3 weeks ago.
It's a iterative process. So how the brains are.
it's evolution, and that's why that's the reason why I'm stoked on this shit and don't care if whack artists get it or not, because it's just gonna make the stronger artists even stronger, in my opinion. But anyways, you're in Stalingrad, and did you just say like fucking Michael Jordan is leading the fucking army and he has a fucking no lose policy or something?
Nah, I had him add this one. I was like, let me just play. I was like, yo, let's say that.
Up, man. My bad, Joe. You got the Fly Guy joint on, son? You got the Fly Guy joint on, yo. This nigga, man.
I think you just pissed him off.
This whole time, you just sitting up here talking to me with the brand new crispy Fly Guy shit on. Damn, bro, my bad, Micah, man. I'm sorry, man.
Too.
Very casual, right? This just nonchalant. Like, I just got the brand new crispy whole Fly Guy new shit that just dropped.
Oh shit!
And decide, man.
I actually like how the majority of the call,
noodles and shit,
bro. I can't call. He been like this, and then he was like,
"Yeah, that was a pullback."
Yo, the nigga hit me with the slow pullback. That's what it was, yo. You can't use down like this the whole joint. Like, you know what, man? I'm tired of this nigga.
I came in here like this.
The Fly Guy. Let me see the Fly Guy joint, man. Stand up, bro. Let me see the Fly Guy. Just hold it to the. Just let me see. Oh man, that's hard. That's hard. You know what I'm saying? Micah, that's from Griselda Records, man. That's from my man West Side Gun. Just dropped those, and I was too poor, yo, to get him on the drop date. I
had a budget, sir.
I was on a budget that day, yo.
You are a family man, sir.
Yes.
Man, yo, I was about I sell one of these kids to y'all if y'all want one. You know what I'm saying, man? I need some new gear and shit.
I just bought this baby cat.
Man, dog, this nigga living the life out here with the new Fly Guy shit, man. Yeah, look, man. Hey, my birthday coming up, man. You already know I take handovers, leftovers, man. You know what I'm saying? Word. But that's hard.
Oh shit. So just as a little last answer to Sky's question, I was like, we're gonna introduce a supernatural element. They were like, what? I was like, let's say agents from Russia and Germany work in deep cover in the Vatican discovered evidence that God exists. And it was like and it just spit out all these possibilities, and I was like, whoa, no, you go, nope, back it up. That's not what I want. Let's play. So that's what I did.
And then that's super creative. And then I would have told him, like, then I would have been like, now I want you to, you know what I'm saying, tell me what you just said in the voice of Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? You just told it was just spit it out. That's fire. More, man.
Those are my morals. That's what stops me. I can't do it in the style of nobody. I can't do it. Like, no. I'm still holding on. Now, 2 months from now, I might be a complete freaking fucking. I did this shit with Ice Cube battling fucking the Pope in a. You know what I mean? But right now, that's not what I'm doing. So there you go.
But I just tried to get ChatGPT to make a rap battle, and that was horrible. I told ChatGPT, stop lying to me. You're not doing work. You're not doing research.
Man.
Well, you're forgetting that ChatGPT doesn't do research. It's only trained up to 2021, September 2021.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was 2019.
Really?
How does it?
Nah, the newest, the ChatGPT 4 or whatever, that was trained till 2020, September 2021, because it told me.
Okay. Well, the like, you just opened my mind up, and I'm glad to have this conversation, because this week, now I'm gonna jump in ChatGPT. I hope y'all downloaded the app, because the app I was gonna crash and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I actually heard when I went on Reddit, or I think I went on Reddit, and they were like, right now the browser window is actually a little bit better, just because they're working out the shit. Like it tests math, battery drain, and all the things.
I still be using my browser.
But the last thing is the prompt that I got. The only reason I was asking about alternative this and that and the histories and shit is because the dude that I saw in the friggin' Reddit thread was like, I do this, I do that, and one of the things that I asked ChatGPT, I was like, okay, can you do characters? And it was like, I can do fictional characters, historical characters, whatever. I was like, could you do diaries of those characters, journal entries, articles they wrote? It's like, yes. I was like, stop it.
Crazy, yo. Now let me, like, before I let you go, man, Rosie, you gotta see, is that Opie behind you? Is that one of Opie's species and shit? That's Micah's wifey, man. She does really, like, tell her I've been seeing the new work that she's been doing on the gram. It's fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It's incredible. When I'm become a millionaire, shortly, I'm gonna be copping all them things. You know what I'm saying? Big things, all them things. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm gonna go to Sky crib. I'm gonna scoop slamming for his Fly Guy hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Real disrespectful for that, but it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of it crushed me on the AI, and he got the Fly Guy on. But look, Sky, man, with your work, bro, continue. You inspiring me greatly. You know what I'm saying? Like you getting me pumped to get it in. Micah, you getting me inspired to just pick up my pen because now I want to show you. I know you think that my pen game is just like, yo, just because I do AI don't mean I got the pen game. You know what I'm saying? The pen game is still official. I'm gonna hit you with that next week. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get in this.
Share this for the people real quick.
Word up. Let me see what you got. Hold up. Bon Jovi, because
he talking about the pen game.
Y'all inspiring me all over the place, man. I'm gonna make sure. Okay, look at this guy right here. This is what this man does, everyone. This is why he says shit on your chat on your mid journey.
You can just put these in the chat with us, right?
Like, and this is why
I still put this fucking guy meme.
But this is why Micah is telling you I've already been doing the neck shit going into the head with the shit. I've been doing that since 98, 99 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he's talking.
This piece over here?
No, he didn't work on this piece, but I do have Micah. I have a portrait that he did of me in the sketchbook. I gotta get it. It's in the sketchbook closet. I got one of his works. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what trips me out about this particular drawing? First off, she's one of my favorites. It's Ukufa, the alien siren mermaid. But when I sell her as a print, people don't even realize she's got more faces, bro.
Man, come on, man.
And then they lose these.
Now, mind you, this looks like a watercolor, right? You know what I'm saying? But this Negro, you know what I'm saying, uses big pens and shit, you know what I'm saying? Ink pens and different things like that, you know what I'm saying?
I have an affinity for pens and like
we're talking about cross-hatching, my people, my boy, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, come on, man.
Micah,
you know what I mean? When I have billions of dollars, I will be commissioning like a 6-foot Micah original, man. You know, I had to pay him for a year. You know what I'm saying? And
I am here for it.
Yes, you know what I mean? Very inspirational things, man. Sky, man, get you some rest, man. I know you've been up since early, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And you know, I hope you spill some ketchup on your Fly Guy shirt, you know. God damn it. You want to get a ketchup thing, motherfucker. Looking crispy, yo. You know what I'm saying? I'm right now, man.
Hilarious. I hope you spill some ketchup.
You know, only on the you can wash it off, man. But shit, you know, damn. Hurting, man. Shit.
Y'all made me stay on for another fucking 50 minutes. So, yo, thank you very much for being here.
I know we got some things I'm gonna pull out of here, man. Some vibes, man, and you know, again, man, it's all enlightening. Like, you know, having an opinion about art.
I'm constantly inspired by both you brothers.
Word. Likewise.
Keep
bro,
going, man.
Y'all destroying the game.
I'm gonna get off and I'm
gonna even start prompting. I walk away from these joints being like, man, I gotta fucking make sure it's my own language. That's something. I gotta do something. You know what I mean?
Sure. It's but that's what.
But I think it makes us better, though. It makes us stronger. It does all of those things. So
when Miles is playing with Coltrane and Coltrane with Max Roach, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to push each other to the limit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's what these conversations is about to me, man. You know what I mean? And it's brilliant, bro. We in an exciting time with art right now. It's so exciting that it's kind of scary, and that's when you know that fear is in people. You know what I'm saying? That means it's great. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. You be well, man. Blessings.
Rosie, thank you for being part of the conversation. Yo, you added your voice, and it was dope having you.
Word, man. Thank you, man. That's what's up, man. Peace, y'all.
Hey,
peace.
She fucking